Hello and welcome to the first lecture of overview of finance and accounting fundamentals. So in this section, we will give you an overview of accounting and finance fundamentals in that order. And we will start with talking about what is accounting and finance in this lecture and how are they interrelated? How are they different and how are they interrelated? So what do you think? What is accounting? Any thoughts on that? So, accounting is the process of recording, summarizing, analyzing, and reporting financial transactions, right, of a business or an individual. So, it could be any business, it could be an individual, and you have financial transaction, and it is the process, it is the system of recording, summarizing, analyzing, and reporting those financial transactions, right? Now, what are financial transactions of a business or individual? Now, financial transaction of a business or individual are the exchanges of economic value that impact the financial position of a business or individual, right? So these are exchanges. You and I exchange something that has economic value, that becomes a financial transaction. And that should impact our financial positions of either as an individual or a business. Now, these transactions are fundamental to accounting and finance. Why? Because they provide the raw data needed to track the financial performance, manage resources, and make informed decisions. So you cannot have financial decisions taken without a proper accounting. So accounting is the foundation of doing financial transactions. Hence the raw data. Now, what are the types of financial transactions? There are many types that we will talk to you about. Starts with sales and revenue. There could be sales of goods and services where a business sells products or services to customer, a business or an individual sells products and services to customer. It could be revenue from other sources, income generated from other activities such as interest, earned, rental income or royalties. It could be many more. Then there are expense transactions where you have operating expenses, which are the costs incurred in normal course of the business, such as rent, utilities, salaries, and supplies. And then there is something called cost of goods sold, COGS, very important term. And these are the direct costs related to the production of the goods or services sold by the business, such as raw material, labor, time consumed, etc. etc. Then there are investment transactions where you have two types again: purchase of assets, which you acquire assets like property, equipment, and securities, and then there is sale of assets. You dispose of or sell off assets that you own as a business or an individual. And then there are financial transactions like borrowing, in which you obtain funds through loans or issuing bonds, and you have those transactions reflected. Then there are repayments. You pay back the borrowed funds, including principals and interest payments. And there is the issuance of equity. You raise capital by issuing shares of stock. And some of this, please note them down right now. We will cover them as we go forward. So just be aware at this point of time of types of financial transactions. There are more financial transactions. Like there are payroll transactions. You have salary payments where you pay employees for their work. Then there are benefits and deductions. You manage for managing payments related to employee benefits, tax withholdings, etc. Then there are cash transactions, which are there are cash receipts, money received from customers, investors, or other sources. Then there are cash payments, money paid out for expenses, purchases, or any other obligation. Then you have tax transactions, you have tax payments, paying taxes owed to government and authorities. You have tax refunds, receiving funds for overpaid taxes. Then there are dividend transactions, distributing profits to shareholders as dividends. Then dividend receipts, receiving dividend payment from investors, from investment in other companies. And then there are loans and interest transactions where you pay interest on borrowed funds, and also you can receive interest on loans given to others for investments. Let us look at some examples of financial transaction. Let's start with a business example. Now, here are business examples of many transactions. A retail store selling a product to a customer for $50. That's a financial transaction. A company paying $1,000 for monthly office rent. That's again another business transaction. Then a manufacturing firm purchasing raw materials worth $5,000. So you see in each of these, there is an act and there is a payment. There's a monetary value. And a startup receiving 100,000 loan from a bank, and a corporation issuing $1 million in shares to raise capital. So these are some of the business examples. Let's take a look at some of these individual examples. Now, an individual paying $200 for groceries to a grocery store or online is a individual financial transaction. A person receiving a 1,500 paycheck from their employer is an individual transaction, financial transaction. Then investing $10,000 in a mutual fund, paying $500 for a car loan installment, and receiving $100 dividend from stock investment. Again, you see here there is an act, and for which you get or you pay some amount as an individual. So these are individual financial transactions. Let's look at the importance of these financial transactions. Now, financial transactions are recorded in the books of account to maintain proper accounting records, financial records. So that's the first importance of these financial transactions. Now, these transactions provide the data needed to prepare financial statements, which we will see later. What are the kinds of financial statements? Now, which are essential for assessing financial health and performance of an individual or a business. Then they help you analyze transaction data. That helps you analyze business and individuals make informed decisions, financial decisions such as budgeting, investing, or strategic planning. And they help you properly record and report financial transactions, ensuring compliance with legal and statutory bodies, right? So understanding and managing financial transaction is crucial for maintaining financial stability, achieving goals, business or individual, and ensuring long-term success. Let's look at the key functions of accounting, which is somewhat overlap with the importance. Somewhere we'll see that. First is to document all financial transactions in a systematic manner. Then organize transactions into categories and summarize them to provide useful information. And preparing a financial statement such as income statement, balance sheet or cash flow statement to present the financial position and performance of the entity. And evaluate financial data to understand the financial health and performance, and that makes it easier to make informed decisions. And finally, to ensure that the financial records comply with the regulations and standards and are accurate through the periodic audits. So these are the functions of accounting. Let's look at now what is finance. So finance is a study and management of money, investments and other financial instruments, right? It involves process of acquiring funds, managing assets and planning for future needs. And finance encompasses a wide range of activity including investing, borrowing, lending, budgeting, saving and forecasting. So that gives you an initial understanding of what is finance. What are the key functions of finance? There are 5 we will talk about. First, making decisions about where to allocate resources to achieve the best result. Investment management. Manage portfolio of assets and balance risk and returns. So where to invest what. Second, you create strategy for managing finances to achieve short-term and long-term goals, including budgeting, forecasting, and planning for retirement. So financial planning. Third, capital structure, determining the optimal mix of debt and equity financing to fund the organization's operations and growth, and identifying, assessing, and managing financial risk to minimize the potential losses. And finally, managing the financial activities of a corporation, including mergers and acquisition, capital raising, and dividend policies. So these are the key functions of finance. So how are accounting and finance related? First, are they related? Obviously they are. So while accounting and finance are distinct fields, they are closely related and they often overlap. How do they interact with each other? Let's take a look at that. Accounting provides the financial data and reports that finance professionals use to analyze for decision making. So financial data. Accounting helps in measuring and reporting past financial performance, while finance focuses on using this information to plan for the future. So performance measure and planning. Then accountants prepare the budgets and the financial forecast, which are then used by the finance professionals to develop strategies and make investment decisions. Both accounting and finance ensure compliance with government regulations, financial regulations, and standards. Though accounting is more focused on record keeping and reporting, while finance deals with the strategic use of the financial information. So net accounting is primarily concerned with tracking and reporting financial transactions, ensuring accuracy and compliance, where finance is focused on managing and planning the use of financial resources to achieve organizational goals. Both disciplines are essential for to effective management of any organization's financial health. So what do we do that? After having looked at what is accounting and finance, we will now look at what are these accounting fundamentals in the next lecture. So thank you so much for watching this first overview lecture of finance and accounting fundamentals. I hope you're beginning to learn new things, beginning to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your question. And do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.